Thank you. Welcome. I knew we'd have a big crowd. I didn't dream of it being this big. I'm really glad everybody come out to honor this day that we're going to celebrate the restoration of the Cabin Creek Covered Bridge. And I know it brings back a lot of memories to a lot of people, and I've heard several of those memories coming down here and from people showing up. And some of the stories you hear, you wonder if they're true or not, but I'm sure they are. But anyway, I want to thank a few people. Made a few notes so I can make it quicker today as we got more speakers. But Arnold Grayton, the guy that built this and restored it, I want to thank him. He done a tremendous job, him and his folks. Kentucky Transportation, Kentucky Parks and Tourism, the Kentucky Heritage Council, fellow Judge Mason County, Buddy Gallenstein. I know he had something to do with this. Appreciate him. Buffalo Trace, and then everyone else that played a role in this. I know State Rep Mike Denham's here. Glad you could be with us, Mike. Fellow judge from Bracken County, Earl Bush. Glad you could make it. Mayor David Cartmel from Maysville. I know he's here. Mayor Chris McGlone from Vanceburg. And all other officials that I know we got a lot more of officials, and there's no way I'd left somebody out, but all other officials that are here. Glad you could join us today. Steve Donovan's here with the Covered Bridge Authority, and then again, I appreciate everyone coming out today to celebrate this with us. I want to give you a little bit of history of the bridge. Most of you that are here probably know more about it than I do, but it's one of 13 surviving bridges in Kentucky, and most of those have been restored. I think there's 3 that's not been. It was originally built in 1873 by William Henderson. And if I'm not mistaken, we may have a family member of his here today. I don't know if I've met him yet. There's several of them. I know. I don't remember the name. I know my brother works with one of them, and he was going to come in and introduce himself. I'm sure he couldn't find me in the crowd, but I'm sure I'll meet him here in a few moments. But this was a 114-foot single-span, multiple king post bridge. It closed in 1983. To foot and vehicle traffic due to storm damage. It fell in disrepair after floods damaged more of the bridge. Mr. Henderson, the builder, is buried here close near the creek. The cost of restoration on this bridge that you see now was approximately $1.2 million and was fully funded through a transportation enhancement program. But that's a little bit of the history, and again, I don't want to go into a lot more details there on the history. As I said, most of you probably know more about it than I do. But we're really happy. I know a lot of you will enjoy this, and now that we got it restored, getting it cleaned up, and we'll continue to take care of it. So that's all I've got. Appreciate it. Thank you.
References that Todd made about the cleanup work and those activities, it's a partnership between the counties as well as our Buffalo Trace Wooden Covered Bridge Authority. They actually have contracts with local folks to actually do seasonal maintenance with the mowing and the weed eating and those type of things. So we appreciate Steve Donovan. Sally Manier from Tollsboro here also serves on that Covered Bridge Authority, and we appreciate her being here and all of her assistance as well. Now it is my pleasure to actually introduce to you someone that we've come to know very well in a very short period of time, who's become a very good friend to many of us in Lewis County. I would like to introduce you to Representative Adkins.
Well, first of all, I'm honored to be here. Thank all of you for coming out today. We had a really special ceremony just before we came over here when we named the Bobby Mackey Highway, and I know many of you will venture over that way and get a chance to see. We had a good crowd there, and what a turnout for this. I want to thank so many people that played such an important role in really preserving the history of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and that's what today is all about, not only for this community, but the entire Commonwealth. Someone who worked so hard for this, and I want to thank the local officials who were involved, but I know this community was involved as well, that you all pushed and you made known that you wanted this covered bridge to be preserved for the history and for future generations to be able to see. But I'm going to tell you, the county judges that have worked so hard and the community that's worked so hard. I'll tell you, the voice in Frankfort who really said we need to take care of these covered bridges is nobody but Mike Denham, who stands right back there in the middle of this crowd. I know that serving. I've had the opportunity to start my 27th year in the Kentucky House, and I now serve as the majority leader in the House, and to have the opportunity to serve with someone like Mike Denham, who really said we need to do this. And I've had some special jobs, and for the Commissioner of Parks to be here today and transportation officials to be here today as well. Isn't it amazing that when people work together, great things happen? Isn't that amazing?
Amen.
And we ought to do that more. But while I've served in Frankfort, I've had some really, I think, fun jobs, to be very honest with you. One of them was being the budget chairperson of tourism. And while I was there, we had the opportunity to really work on projects like this, our state parks, and some other attractions to try to make our communities a better place to live. And then I had the opportunity to be budget chair of transportation. The budget money that we bring back to try to improve our roads and build new roads and build better access. But the opportunity to preserve really something that is so special, built in the 1800s, to restore it back to where it looks the way it does today is just, I think, a special day for all of us, not only in this community, but the entire Commonwealth of Kentucky. And I know you're proud today, and you should be. And, you know, when we have positive things happen, we ought to join like this, and we ought to smile, and we ought to celebrate. Because there's too much going on that we don't get to celebrate, and it seems like that's when the news media shows up. It's when the negative things happen. Well, this is a positive thing, and the news media is here today. I want to say thank you for being here and helping us celebrate today and dedicate this very, very special project. I want you all to know that Lewis County is a new county within my legislative district, but you're really not new to me. I've got a lot of friends within this county, and I've had the chance to work with people like Todd, Ruckel, and others who are in this crowd, and people like Mike Denham. And I look forward to representing you in Frankfort, and I look forward to being there with you at your community events and letting you get to know me a little bit better. I come from a small community as well. I was raised in Bell City, Kentucky, which is the suburb of Sandy Hook, Kentucky. So you all understand where I come from. You know, I'm a small town country boy from the left-hand fork of Middle Fork over in Elliott County, and I'm proud of it just like you are. And I'm proud of our region of Kentucky. And as we continue to try to chip away and make sure we get our fair share in our neck of the woods, I want to work with you to make sure that that happens. Don't hesitate to ever give me a call for something I can help you with. But I am so honored today, Mike, to be here with you and all the local officials who are here, and Buffalo Trace Ad District that does such an outstanding job for you each and every day. I want you to know that I'm honored to be here with you today, and I look forward to working with you in the future. And if you need me for anything, please don't hesitate to give me a call. Let's celebrate today. Let's have a smile on our face, and let's be happy of who we are and where we're from. Congratulations to all of you that's played a part in this beautiful project. Thank you all for having me.
It is my pleasure today to introduce our next speaker, who I'm very pleased that was able to make the trip from Frankfort to join us. We have with us today Commissioner Elaine Walker. I'm going to give a short version of her bio. It's a very impressive bio, by the way. So we are so pleased that she was able to take time out of her schedule to join us today in this celebration. But Commissioner Walker actually oversees 49 state parks, including 17 state resort parks, recreational parks, and historic sites, and a full-time staff of roughly 900 people. That doubles during the summer season. Her mission is to build on the strong tradition that established Kentucky as having the finest state park system nationwide. She's also the former Bowling Green mayor, and she's been recognized in many recognitions because of that role as well. So it is my pleasure actually today to introduce Commissioner Walker.
Thank you so much, Amy, and thank you everyone for inviting me here today as we celebrate the completion of Cabin Creek Covered Bridge project. You know, May is National Historic Preservation Month, so it's very appropriate that we're here with a restored covered bridge built just after the Civil War. One of the missions given the Department of Parks is historic preservation. We have several antebellum homes, Native American burial fields, pioneer settlements, battlefields, and many other properties that were important to the history of Kentucky. we are proud to be adding this covered bridge to the list of restored structures that were so important to the people who live and work in this region. We look forward to working with the residents of Lewis County, as well as the Buffalo Trace Area Development District, to continue the preservation efforts of the Cabin Creek Covered Bridge. The Kentucky Department of Parks is one of several agencies that have worked on the project, and I'd just like to recognize two people on my staff who were instrumental. We've got project manager Steve Crump, who's the architect, and Shirley Dexter, who is our regional over historic properties and also covered bridges. And these two people have spent a lot of time working on this project, and it's been great over the past several months to hear about the developments as they've happened, and now to see this beautiful covered bridge. And I'd be interested in hearing some of those stories from some of you. But I'd also like to express thanks to the Transportation Cabinet, Kentucky Heritage Council, Finance and Administration Cabinet, the Buffalo Trace Area Development District, the Buffalo Trace Wooden Covered Bridge Authority, and officials from Lewis County, because all of these groups worked on this special project, and the state parks are proud to have been a part of it. You know, as Representative Adkins mentioned, when people come together, it's amazing what we can accomplish. And gone are the days when people in government could stand up and say, oh yeah, we'll fix that, we will take care of that, we will do that, because we simply do not have the resources to do everything. But together with the community, together with various cabinets, and truly with the support of our state legislature, which has been such a strong supporter of this project and of Kentucky State Parks, we can accomplish great things. Thank you for coming out on this beautiful day to celebrate the rebirth of this historic property. Thank you.
We actually have a special presentation right now. Some of you may have read the article in the Ledger Independent last week, and we appreciate that coverage in the local newspapers. But at this time, we are actually going to make a special presentation, and I would ask Steve Donovan and Todd Ruckel to come forward.
Thank you, Amy. We've heard a lot about all the people that make it happen, but this group are out here showing the interest in what make things happen. And it's a beautiful project that you have now to look forward to admire for the next several years. I'm Steve Donovan. I'm with the Covered Bridge Authority. We recognize Sally, and also Betty Wood is here with us. She's also on the authority today as well. About 8 years ago, as we started working on bridges across this particular region, a gentleman with the name of Patrick Kennedy, I don't think Patrick's here, Patrick retired, he worked with the Heritage Council. He called one day and he said, there's a lot of people put a lot of time in these bridges that are never recognized. And it's sad. And so we worked together with Buffalo Trace and put together a Keeper of the Bridge certificate. And we've awarded that a few times to very special people who have gone above and beyond. They've worked with citizens, they've worked with every aspect of government, local, state, and sometimes even federal, to make these projects happen. So at this time, I'd like the judge to come forward and make a presentation regarding the Cabin Creek Bridge.
Okay. As he mentioned what the Keeper of the Bridge is, it could be a number of people in the community. I know the community has really stepped forward in this, but today we've got a gentleman that we want to honor with the Keeper of the Bridge certificate and title, and he's went above and beyond. You know, my phone would ring. I know Amy's told me her phone would ring. We'd get updates, you know, what was going on. If we had a question, we'd call this gentleman, and he's not aware of this at all. But today I'd like to ask for the Keeper of the Bridge. I'd like to ask Mr. Steve Hampton if he'd be our Keeper of the Bridge. Steve, come on forward. Steve was always down here, and most time when I come by, he was here waiting down here. He always kept us informed on what was going on.
Yeah. You think so?
All right. I'm sure they want to get pictures.
I'd like to say something. I'd like to thank everybody that really worked on this bridge, and I know there's a lot of people that was involved in it. And I also want to thank Arnold for a great job. And we, the people here of Cabin Creek, appreciate that. And God bless you all.
Go ahead.
That might be a bigger job than the man that started it.
He'll have you to help him.
I'll be your assistant.
And the look, for those that were facing this way, obviously the look on his face was priceless. So obviously he was very stunned with that. But we do appreciate Steve for all the work that he's done with us. I've gotten to know Steve very well through this project. So also we'd like to call forward Alan Blair. He's a representative from the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, and for a few words.
Sure. Thank you, Amy. Appreciate it. Well, as we've seen today, the theme is togetherness. I think everybody's spoken about togetherness. And on behalf of the Transportation Cabinet, our Transportation Secretary, Mike Hancock, and my Chief Engineer, Bart Bryant, I just do want to thank everyone that's had a hand in this. You know, it really does take a lot of people's efforts to get these projects finished and to the point that we are now. And Rocky can attest, and our wonderful Parks Commissioner, we've worked a lot together on this for the last several years, really. And our Cover Bridge folks, our authority, and the Buffalo Trace ad. I mean, it really does take everybody, and we are so thankful to have the partners we have here in our district. You know, we're very lucky, I think, and fortunate that we have we have at least 8 cover bridges in our highway district, and we kind of claim Johnson Creek as our 9th. So we're involved in that project as well. And it's just so wonderful to see these restored. And, you know, the engineering that is involved in this, you know, these bridges, they connect communities. And in a way, this being National Historic Preservation Month, you know, we can talk about the fact that these bridges were some of the first structures ever built in our state. And that has led to our current transportation system, which is 27,000 miles of state highways and 14,000 bridges. And I would dare say that they started right here at these bridges in these areas. So, you know, we are just very thankful to be able to work with everyone to get these restored and to do a small part in this. And we want to thank everybody for being with us on this. Thank you.
Again, I would just like to say we thank everyone for coming today and celebrating with us. We do have another special surprise today. We have found out that they are actually going to open the gate, and if you would like to drive your vehicle through it one at a time, but that is an option. If you would like to drive, today you will be able to drive across the bridge and celebrate with us for the dedication. We do want to thank everyone. We would also like to ask Mr. Steve Crump and Shirley and Mr. Grayton, if you all could come forward, please, to get into a group picture. Is Frank back here too? We're getting that done too, Steve. So, I'm the person that can make that happen.
Oh, are you the person?
There you go. So,
Frank?
Yep.
Arnold?